You have him all wrong. My brother is not the kind of person you think he is.
I despise Chris.
What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So for today's video, I wanted to go into some details surrounding the new remakes for older Resident Evil games that Capcom wants to come out with. Now, everybody knows they've had like massive success over the last few years doing remakes of Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 was this year, and a lot of people are thinking right now they're probably going to try and remake either Resident Evil 5. If they don't do that, then they might try and remake Resident Evil Code Veronica. Personally, I think Code Veronica makes the most sense because Albert Wesker comes back in Resident Evil 5 as like this big antagonist, and you kind of need Code Veronica to lay the framework for why Chris Redfield and Albert Wesker don't really like each other that much. I mean, apart from being enemies, there's like a lot of backstory that they could go into there, but in my personal opinion, we've got just confirmation of a game coming out that's a remake from Capcom. I don't really know which direction they're going to go in, but I actually wanted to talk about something else, which is why I don't understand why they haven't re-released all of the older games, like, you know, what you have for these companies' backlogs. For example, look at what's coming out soon for Tomb Raider. They're putting out Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 on pretty much everything. So why can't we get that with something like, say, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and maybe not Code Veronica, because you could actually play that on like a PlayStation 4 or 5, but going down the rabbit hole of doing a Resident Evil 5 remake, pre-Code Veronica remake, for all the people that have not been clued in on the classic timeline and kind of like why all that stuff matters is silly to me. So if Capcom really wants to make some money, why don't they take Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and just put them all out remastered? And I think they actually can, which is the weirder thing. I think they actually did this like 10 years ago for copies of Resident Evil 6 that were like special edition. Get all those games, slap them on a new cart, and just make your money that way. That way you will have something to hold fans over before you do RE9 or whatever else you've got in store. In fact, I think I saw a lot of people kind of talking about how it looks like they've even up-resed or maybe even some sort of retexturing for Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be awesome to see all those games kind of get a re-release, and it would be on the cheap. I really don't think it would be that much to do. One other thing to talk about, if they're gonna do that, throw Dino Crisis 1 and 2 in there, man. There's no reason not to. In fact, I think they could get two birds with one stone by just going into their back catalog and remastering these old PlayStation games and just throwing them out there. There's no reason not to do that. Personally, I think this is the way to go. We don't know if they're going to do that. We just know that they are going to remake either RE5 or Code Veronica. Probably Resident Evil 5 because they think they're going to make more money that way. Doesn't make sense to me, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. All we know for a fact is that they are going to remake another Resident Evil game. They've done 2, 3, and 4 recently. Threw out 7 and 8 there. 7 I love. So yeah, let's see what they do with this information, guys. But that's just my own 2 cents. I would prefer a Code Veronica remake. Whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, and let me know how quick you would buy a remaster of the first 3 games in the comments down below.